episode.
I know. Okay, we're live. Hey, you guys, we are live. It is the midweek chat, and I got your girl Bree on the line. People would be excited, especially Tommy. Tommy is always looking for you, Bree.
I get excited talking to you guys too. Hey everybody. I love the Sophies. We adore all of you. But yeah, I got to run my mouth about these soaps, even though there was nothing much really going on.
Listen, hey Cheryl. Hey Cheryl. She said hey T and Bree.
Hey Cheryl.
Hey Keita. Yes, we on time today. 6:30. Well, 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern. Hey Jan. Hey Vicky. We are back. And go ahead and finish what you were saying, Bree, about these last 3 days.
It was so boring. I'm really struggling to remember what happened on Bold. It was just so dull and so boring. Every episode felt like a D+ at best.
Mm-hmm.
The plus for today's episode was Steffi's dress. I was like, oh, every like scene that she was in, I was like, oh, that's so cute. And it has pockets.
I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. Did it look like to you, and I said this earlier on the lunchtime chat, did it look like that the top of it was too tight for her? It was squeezing her chest.
Yeah, I think that's a corset. So unless like she's wearing something that's kind of tightening, that top, or maybe she's just never really been chest heavy. But I can see where you see like where it's like squeezing her a bit. But I think
it's cutting across the middle of her girls and pushing in. I was like, and she looked like she could breathe in it. So unless she's good at hiding it. But I was like, it's kind of tight. It's kind of tight.
I think it's fitted like a corset. Okay. I'm wondering if it's a dress or if it's a two-piece. That's why I sent the link in the group chat. I think I wanted to check to be sure. But it looks great on her. I just don't think that she's really chest heavy.
Yeah, I was curious about that, but that dress was gorgeous. All right, how many people we got in the chat, Bree?
We got, 19.
Okay. Yeah.
And when it was in the past 60 seconds.
Right. Yeah, Vicky said it was Bore City.
Vicky.
I know. I mean, when I saw it, I said, "Oh, cute dress," and I'm like, "Oh, girl."
Maybe she's used to wearing stuff like that. I mean, well, Jacqueline and I guess you can say Steffy, because Steffy had a lingerie line. Like they're used to wearing certain things, corsets, and those sort of tops. So, I think it's just part of the look. But I wonder if it's a two-piece or a whole dress. But that's definitely you can definitely tell there's boning at the top. So that's definitely a corset.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, all of you. Are we past 20?
26.
All right, let's go. We got a lot of folks in here. LaShanta, Monique, Melissa Spencer, Brooklyn, Vicky T.A., Pauline, Cheryl, Jan, Kit Kat, Patricia Jones, hello, Jenny Arthur, hello. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk. It's myself T, and Bree. And we are going to do the midweek chat. We're going to talk about what has happened so far, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday episode. I got to say, I did see Young and the Restless for tomorrow, and I got to say it was pretty darn good. I think this is where we needed to, because going up to this point, I just wasn't really interested in the Sharon storyline. And matter of fact, let me bring up Y&R. I wasn't really interested in the Sharon storyline, but tomorrow was like watching an episode of the ID channel.
Sharon Case is going to get her Emmy for that episode.
That one alone. The September 26th. Yeah, the September 26th tomorrow episode. Oh, yeah, she deserves an Emmy for tomorrow. Everything else prior to that, I could care less.
But tomorrow, like, I was left shocked. I was angry. And I was also very impressed with Sharon Case. It was a mix of emotions, but in a great way as a viewer. And she's on, without a doubt, she's on that Daytime Emmy nomination for 2026.
Yeah, she's going to have to be. She rocked out in tomorrow's episode. And I hate to talk about that. It kind of overshadows anything that we saw with Sharon Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Because at the end of the episode where Sharon got ready to leave after, you know what, let's go ahead and just dive into that. I mean, everything else we can, tackle. But when Sharon was in there this week fighting with her mind, even though she was having this conversation, she thought with Cameron Kirsten, she bought the poison, was about to put the poison in there. And a lot of us thought Lucy was going to sneak some and she was going to be out of there. They really threw us a curveball on this one.
Yes, they did. She actually did put the poison in the bottle.
Right, but she had a second thought or change of heart.
And she dumped it out.
Correct. And so I'm like, well, just get the French toast out of there. They don't even have to know that you've ever been there. But she goes through this whole thing of looking at pictures and then arguing with Cameron Kirsten in her head in the middle of the apartment. I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, can you do that at home or at the hotel?
Like she been doing? Yeah, I agree. This was a very... this is a weird series of events. When she went into the apartment, like she's like really just stalling, and she's breaking things, and I'm like, girl, you are the worst criminal ever. Like you're just... And Cameron is also calling her out, like, you're terrible at this.
Right, exactly.
But tomorrow, I'm not trying to give it away because I want people to really watch this episode.
Here's the thing I gotta say. It was the dramatic effects. It was like watching something on Lifetime or ID channel. The way they started it off was nothing like a soap opera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They set the entire tone. So we know something went down. But when everything unfolded, I'm like, I can't, how can she come back from that?
I mean, mentally, she would actually have to, what's the word I would use? She would have to unalive her complete conscience, because most people that do that and don't care about it, they don't have a conscience. There's no empathy. And even though she is going through, this mental health crisis, there's still a part of the original Sharon that has empathy, which I don't see how she could move around through life after doing something to somebody. You know what I mean? And and just act like it never happened.
The police is not going to care for her sympathy because she had intent. She broke into somebody's house and had intent to unalive somebody. Mm-hmm. She had a change of heart, and then she went and did what she did. Mm-hmm. And then covered up everything. Mm-hmm. So I don't think the police is going to have any sympathy. And we know Christine is coming back, and we see why now.
Yeah, Christine and that new chief of police too.
Yep. So she the amount of enemies she's going to have.
Mm-hmm. So I believe, in my opinion, her family. Now, there's some people in the chat thinking that she might be dreaming. Do you think that's a possibility, that she dreamt the whole thing?
No.
Okay. I agree with you. I really do. I mean, the person is a disposable character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering how long they were going to be on the show, but
Mm-hmm.
now we know.
Right.
But I agree with you. They're technically disposable.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a very interesting route that they went, and
Mm-hmm.
I just can't believe she actually went through with this.
I mean,
This was
but it's so. But
shocking.
here's the thing. That's the thing about. There was a lot of things about what happened tomorrow that really doesn't make sense. But it's a soap, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how did that happen? How did you do that? How could that happen? Ain't no way. You know what I mean? That type of reaction to certain things.
There's no way that she's dreaming because Nick is still looking for her. The kids are still looking for her. And she already spoke with Mariah. They know that they know that she is not in her frame of mind, especially since she lied about being in Madison and this, and this. And there's just no way that she was in her hotel this whole time. There's just no
But they
way.
don't know where she is. That's the problem. But still, that looks suspicious because she's going to have to, if she was, let's just play it out for right now. And sorry, you guys, I'm not going to give it all away, but let's just play it out because in tomorrow's episode, as it seems, somebody's unalived. Okay? And at this point, if she already told them I'm going to check into a mental health place or a spa. Remember, she was talking about going to Sedona, but then she told Mariah, "I changed my mind. I'm not going to Sedona. I'm going somewhere else." Her best bet right now, instead of staying in that hotel, is to go check herself in somewhere.
If she was in her right frame of mind,
right? I mean, we're playing it out here.
Yeah.
Her best bet would be to go find a facility and check herself in there. And therefore, she could tag team what she told Mariah to be an alibi. But they can still say, when did she check in? Oh, she checked in on September the 25th or the 26th. That still doesn't 100% clear her. But if she needs to run without looking like she's running from the police, she would go check herself in somewhere now. I'm not trying to aid and abet. We just playing this whole thing out in soap world. So
yeah, well, Sharon's going to aid and embed herself to some degree. But the only thing I would say to that is, and this is where I have questions. Since Devon owns that building, wouldn't he have security cameras throughout that building?
Well, remember I said that when we were briefly talking about that on Monday on the trivia, because we brought that up. And I know you had made a joke talking about, they ain't got no cameras around there or something you were saying. Yeah. But you would think in a building like that that's full of condos, I mean, I'm in a high rise myself. There are cameras in that lobby. There are cameras everywhere.
Right.
And so for her to go, and she went down the stairs. Let me shut up.
Yeah, y'all got to watch this episode. But like I said, there's so many questions that I have because that person also made a phone call before it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they're going to track that phone too. There's just different things that, like, Sharon won't really be able to get away with any of this. I can't see her like getting away with.
But that's the thing. She would have, and like, oh God, I can't talk about it. Ugh. Y'all gonna have to wait till the to the lunchtime chat tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah, there we go.
Make sure, because we're going to talk, and I know that there's some folks that already saw it, because I see the conversations in the chat, but there are a lot of people, because if you're watching in Canada, you've already seen tomorrow's episode, and for us in the States, there's opportunities for us to see the episode a day ahead, so we have seen some of that. But for those, the majority who have not, I don't want to spoil it for you because it is really, really good tomorrow.
Yes. in comparison to what we've been watching the rest of this week, we want to save a really good episode for y'all.
Right. After everything that happened this week. Yeah, Medora said, T, move on. You will spill the tea. Okay, I'll move on. Well, let's just go back. I just think that Sharon could have got out of there sooner, but all this stuff bouncing back, she having a whole argument in her head. It'd be different if Cameron was actually standing in that room with her before Heather got there. And they were tussling and, she was fighting with herself. She could have been left that place after she got rid of the alcohol.
I agree. And this is why I feel like there's going to be stuff that she won't be able to cover up because she even know how she got the poison. Mm-hmm. She can't remember how she was able to figure out a way to break into their house like that. Because I don't think she used a credit card, did she?
Well, you know what? I have a feeling because there's a lot of missing scenes. Like, we don't know where she got the poison. There's a few missing scenes from tomorrow to figure out exactly what happened. I'm wondering, after everything is said and done, are they going to give us a complete flashback of everything from start to finish when she got to the hotel up until the ending of everything happening? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because how did she get that? How did she get that? You just go and buy that from the store? Or you ordered off of Amazon supplier. Or something?
Jordan supplier.
Jordan.
Wherever they're going to.
Listen, and whatever this place that Jordan and Lunatic Luna and Sharon goes to, they got plenty of that stuff.
Apparently. But, I was thinking that maybe I was like, okay, so she poured the bottle down, so she had a change of heart. I'm like, okay, but then she started breaking stuff. I'm like, girl, now you had to clean up the mess you made too. You're just terrible. But she made it up Thursday. Like, this was expertise.
Yeah, it was. But let's switch and talk about this family though. Her family. Girl, and then Tessa. Tessa got on my nerves. And Mariah, too, because Tessa turns around and come up in the house talking about, or Mariah said, well, Tessa said that maybe we should just give her a break. She said that she needed some time away. And I'm glad Nick stepped up and like, no, she's not herself. She hasn't been acting herself. And she's been seeing things. They act like they just don't want to deal with it.
Once again, just delusion. Mm-hmm. And Tessa really can't say much of anything. I mean, given her criminal history.
Right.
And her not being in her right mind. And then you got Mariah, who knows about everything that Sharon had went through. I mean, she was hired by Victor to play tricks on Sharon. Right. So she knows her mother's not mentally stable. She was paid to inflict on that. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they're just losing all common sense, they're supposed to be the older sisters. Mm-hmm. And just like, if you want to let Sharon be, okay, then you need to be over there with your child and to stay out of it then. Since you're not really much of help. How is it Mariah was over there in Madison and didn't have enough sense to check with the front desk and say, like, hey, did my mom even check in? And you just let your mother just lie to you flat out on the phone and say, like, okay, just leave me alone. And then you do so? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just...
No one she's crazy.
And that's why, obviously, when whatever comes out, Phyllis had already told Nick, you need to get that girl in Fairview. She need to be committed. And, they just been hemming and hawing, and I don't know where she is, and maybe we're wrong, and is she taking her meds? Is she not taking her meds? Mom said leave her alone, and it's like, how y'all gonna feel if, especially Phyllis, find out, because this affects her family. Right?
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. Ooh, she will not know what to do with Phyllis. Phyllis is going to, Hurricane
Phyllis.
That's going to be something different because the heartbreak that's going to surround all of this.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to disregard what Sharon is feeling mentally. She's not going to care. She can be like, look, you need to be underneath the jail.
Yep. Now, unless there's something that obviously that they're keeping from us, then, but as far as, this thing is about to get real ugly. So it's already ugly.
Especially after tomorrow's episode, it's ugly. I don't know how she's going to come back from this because this is cold. Like, this is like...
I don't know. Has Victor ever done something like this?
He's done, actually, remember Sky Lockhart?
I remember that name, yes.
I remember little bits and pieces of it, but I think he had something arranged where she was pushed into a volcano.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then Sharon almost took the rap for that, even though it wasn't her fault.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was all on him. So he's had his hand in a lot of different things, a lot of crimes. But everything that Sharon did is almost equivalent to what Chloe tried to execute herself, but was unsuccessful.
Yeah, that whole yeah. Oh Lord, tomorrow.
I don't feel sorry for Sharon. I really don't. She had every intent on what she was trying to do. Then she had a change of heart. But the way she was talking in tomorrow's episode, and the way that you guys is watching from start to finish.
Yeah.
This right here, this was calculated. There's no way that she can blame it on anybody else but herself. She really can't. She can't say oh, Cameron Kirsten, this is all his doing. No. He even keeps saying no, you made me up in your own head.
This is gonna shake up Genoa City. Yep.
It's going to shake up some families. It's going to shake up some alliances. It's going to shake up a lot. And if they even mention Fairview as an option, I'll be very upset. Because she does not deserve Fairview.
Yeah, but the thing is, she's a legacy character. So unless Sharon Case is leaving, they're going to figure out a way to keep her around.
I was wondering that.
Yeah, I mean, unless she's retiring, because her 30th year anniversary is on the Friday episode. Unless she's retiring, they're going to create a loophole out of the storyline to keep her around.
And it's so undeserving, too, but yeah. Everything that she did was almost as calculated as what Chloe tried to do when it came to Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but as far as the family goes, especially Nick, this man got $500 million from his daddy. He can't spend not $1 to hire a private investigator and see what's going on and track her down. What's the whole purpose of you going back to the ranch for? For what? You Faith was there. Faith would have said, "Oh yeah, my mom is here."
Right.
He just playing stupid. You got all that money. You can't use not one resource to track this woman down.
Mm-hmm. You would think. Or else he already talked to Victor. They know what's going on. All he could have said is, listen, and I know I said this yesterday and people were talking about his security team is trash. But at least try something. Don't just be like, oh, I don't know where she at. Try something.
Right. He's circling around the same people. Mariah don't know nothing. Tessa don't know nothing. Faith doesn't know nothing. You guys they're in circles saying the same thing. So why don't you go reach out to people outside of you guys for some help? And then he went to his family. What are they going to do? They don't care about Sharon like that. They said like, oh well, we're here for you, son, and anything that you need. Like, yeah, we don't get along with Sharon, but we don't want anything to happen to her. Lies, bunch of fake nice. They don't care like that, and which is why he's still stuck on stupid going to her house. And I'm like, she's not there. You got $500 million in your bank account, probably more. Utilize some of them dollars and get some detectives on it. Like there's no excuse for Nick. None.
Not a one. Not a one.
500 million for what? You ain't even utilizing it.
Exactly. We also had, as part of the scene that I did like, is the scene yesterday between Faith and Adam. Because for a while, Faith couldn't stand Adam, even with his kidney. And to now see her kind of, chill out toward her uncle, and they had a nice conversation, and Adam was like, you know what, I care about you and Sharon, and if anybody she should talk to about this situation, if she needed to get it off her chest, Bree, meaning Sharon, is Adam. Oh, Adam know how to handle this.
Yeah, I wonder, and this is why I was saying they looped this man in the storyline for a reason. And clearly this is not going to be a good reason. So, because I don't think Nick is going to be able to help Sharon, but Adam would for her.
He's just, he knows how to compartmentalize emotion.
Yeah. I agree. The perfect word. Yes, he does.
So if Sharon says, look, Adam, I'm in trouble. I don't know what to do. I have no way out. I did something bad. And I know you probably the only one that could help me out with this. Adam would know exactly how she should do it. He would protect her.
Yep.
And figure a way out for her.
Yep. Yes, he would. I agree. And I think there's a reason why they are, like, they have Faith being more softer and warmer towards Adam, because this is why I feel that they might lean him more towards Sharon's direction versus Chelsea.
I guess we'll see, because he was the one that was there when she originally had the bipolar diagnosis in the first place.
Right.
Yep, and he got her the help that she needed.
Yep. There's something tells me this is the direction they're going to go in for Adam, which I don't want, because I would love for him to go with Audra, but it might be light years before that happened, but they looped this man into the storyline for a reason.
Yep.
There's just and with everything that played out Thursday, I'm like, okay, I see where Adam's gonna come in.
Now, what is Paul gonna? Never mind. Okay, let's move on. Speaking of Adam, we had this conversation between Sally and Audra, because she still got feelings for him, but at the same time, she can't stand them. And Audra is saying, hey, since you're friends with Billy now, why don't you get some revenge sex and sleep with Billy?
Spoken like a walk-in closet. Like, that annoyed me. Like, just because you quick to give it up to whoever without any strings attached doesn't mean that she just wants to sleep with she should be sleeping with everybody. She misses the man that she was in love with. And she's hurt. She don't know how to, resolve those feelings. Doesn't mean that she needs to sleep with Billy.
Right.
Like it's spoken like a 304. Like, how dare you?
Yeah, I'm sitting up there like, girl, please. How did that work out for you? Yeah, okay. And then we did, I think, yeah, so that's what this was. So originally we had Adam admitting to Chelsea that he lied and that he actually thought about the two of them being together. Chelsea got upset. she ran out of society. And of course, Billy put his cape on, even though he claimed that him and Chelsea are over, and decided to confront Adam, grab him by the arm when Adam tried to walk away, and Adam punched him and knocked him clear across the restaurant.
Yeah, I'm like, sir, you love this woman. You might as well go ahead and work it out. Like Billy has no reason whatsoever to be this emotional about being cheated on. The amount of women that he's cheated on in his lifetime, this was eventually going to come to him. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why he's getting so emotional. He can dish it, but he can't take it.
Well, that's why Phyllis was trying to give him a dose of reality. And she said it several times to him, like, look, we all have done some things. And, I mean, there's a lot of history between those two. You know, when it comes to cheating and, even the situation with Summer and Billy and Jack, when she was with Jack. I mean, when she was with Nick. It always Billy's in the middle of something and cheating on Lily to get with Chelsea. So this whole thing of entitlement or self-righteousness on the part of Billy, it's like, dude, it's laughable. Sit down.
Exactly. And clearly he cares about Chelsea, so he might as well just... I mean, didn't he sleep with Chelsea and cheated on whoever he was with? Either which way, this is...
You talking Billy about before Lily? You talking about the first time?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's been too many times. I forgot about poor Lily. It's been a lot of back and forth. Mm-hmm. I remember, like, if it wasn't when he was with Sharon, he was cheating with Sharon with Chelsea, and vice versa. And then when he was with Victoria, he was cheating with Chelsea or whoever. This is what he does. So the fact that it happened to him, he can't handle it. Mm-hmm. But he need to grow up, get over himself.
Right.
Get over himself. Like he thinks he can do better. Like, better than what? What does he feel that he deserves that he hasn't dished out?
Yeah, and as for Chelsea running around every time, obviously I think there's a part of her, even though she trying to get forgiveness from Billy, she felt something from that night that her and Adam slept together. Because why are you acting like that? All she had to do would be like, hey, I appreciate and I'm flattered, but no. You don't have to, no, don't speak of it. How dare you? And running out of there and all this emotion, and she did it again. I'm like, girl, stop. Obviously, you must have felt something. You running away from yourself.
Well, she was feeling a lot of things that night, so maybe. So we know what she felt.
I know.
But she's also a known cheater. I know Chelsea is forever erratic.
Yes,
like, she used to be this smart, I don't want to say business savvy, con artist. Yeah, this smart con artist. And now she's just erratic almost every scene, it feels like. Yeah. I'm like, oh, hold it together. It's not your first rodeo.
And then we also got to talk about Phyllis, because she actually, and as much as, a lot of people, including her own kids, when she had dinner with them today, was like, are you sure you want to work with Billy and everything? Because y'all got a history. I like the fact that she was like, look, dude, because, it's not a good look. If he got into a whole brawl in society with Adam, and he just started that company, that only makes him look bad. Adam probably is slide out of this. Victor will help him out or blame it all on Billy, which it was his fault. But I'm glad Phyllis stepped in because, for one thing, I like the storyline to continue. But it was just a smart move. Dude, you don't want to do that. No. We trying to kick off something with this company, and you finna get into a whole fight with Adam Newman?
Yeah, who's running Newman Media, and they could easily trash, Abbott Chancellor if they wanted to.
Yep.
So Yeah, that wasn't a good look. And the best person to be the right-hand man for Billy is Phyllis, because essentially they're kind of the same person to some degree. I feel that Billy is more the gambler in a lot of cases, and I feel that I was about to say Steffy. I feel Phyllis is kind of like the wild child. Like, she's a spitfire. She just she acts on a lot of emotion sometimes. So, but they're very similar. That's the perfect person to try to talk him down. Like, they kind of cancel each other out. But on top of that, this woman's very business savvy. Like she said, like, she has a tech experience, a CEO experience. She's owned businesses. Like, she is going to make sure, for one, to get one over on Victor, because she has her issues with that man too.
I agree.
And two, this is the only job opportunity she's had in a long while.
Right.
So she's not going to lose this job whatsoever. But more importantly, I think that this is one of the best decisions the writers and producers did by putting these two together in a working relationship. Do not put them in a relationship.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I kind of want them to, run this business together and, figure out a way to outsmart Victor and Lily and whoever else. But, yeah, don't put them in a relationship together. And then when he gets to the office, Victoria shows up trying to buy him out. Did Victoria actually think that this man would be like, ooh, money. Okay, I'll let you have it. No. I don't know why she thought that was going to be that simple.
Because she feels that Billy is the loser in this position. And the thing is, we got to keep in mind, she knows everything from start to finish. She knew that her dad wanted to take over. She knows that her mom wants to be the CEO of that company. And at first, she was all for it, because she was like, you know what, this is business. Like, my kids know. I think she said the kids are Newmans, so they should understand that this is part of business. But now she's thinking about how this is going to affect her kids, and she thinks that buying him out is the best way forward. And I'm like, you're basically telling this man that he's a loser, and he's going to either lose to her dad the wrong way, or at least he could lose and just have something to show for with some money. Either which way is just not a good look. Like, she doesn't see the value of her ex-husband whatsoever.
So,
which shows.
Well, I guess my question, because I know why she wanted to offer him the money, I didn't know. What I'm asking is, what made her think that he would actually take it and walk away? He would actually had to have no type of heart in this company to say, oh, you offer me $300 million or whatever. Okay, I'll take it and I'll walk away. What made her think that he would even consider just taking the money? Even though I know what her plan was, why would she think he would walk away with that cash and say, bye, Abbott Chancellor?
Because she's Victoria. And she feels that anything that she could say to this man would be gold. She really thinks that she has this man wrapped around her fingers still.
Yeah, well, she was sadly mistaken. And I think it dug a dart in him even deeper when she said, you're going to lose. That's why I'm doing it. And she was like, dang, it's like that. Yeah. Billy, she think that her father is going to pulverize you.
Which shows that she will always prioritize her father, her family, over the men in her life, the father of her children. And he brought up a really good point about, like, he wants to make sure his children have an option of a legacy. And she's like, oh, well, they have Newman to go to. Well, I want them to have an option to go to.
That's cold-blooded. And see, that's what my issue was with Victoria, and also with Katie Logan. We'll talk about her later.
Yeah.
But, she act like Newman is the be all. And I'm like, excuse me, even if it wasn't Abbott Chancellor, her kids are still an Abbott.
Yeah, but these are Katie and Johnny Newman. I wonder who had that influence in that. So she won't let these kids have their daddy's last name. She's going to really try to strong arm them to make sure they work over at Newman. So she doesn't even want them to even have the option to even go work for their dad. They just want she is so loyal to the Newman name, and her daddy's never really been loyal to her.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Billy has been right this whole time. Like, he was like, look, you won't even keep it real with me about why you're even doing this. Like, I was perfectly fine. Your dad hasn't even bothered me.
Initiation of the contact. And Billy was like, you barking up the wrong tree. Go talk to your daddy. He's the one coming after me. I'm over here minding my own business, trying to run a company. He's coming to destroy me, not the other way around. And I mean, he got a point.
Exactly. And if she had any loyalty to Billy, she would have let him know what was going on. And even Shaggy was like, look, you could even tell him, like, what's going on, and then see if that might change his mind about taking the money or going along with her plan at least.
Mm-hmm.
But she's so stuck on being loyal to Newman. She even had the gall to sit there and say, like, yeah, you're going to lose to my dad. Like, excuse you?
Right. It's like, girl, you come here, throw some money and throw some shade at the same time. Girl, get out of here.
Yeah. Go on somewhere.
Go on somewhere. All right, girl. I think we covered everything on Y&R, right? Did we miss anything for the last 2 days? Okay. And you guys, watch tomorrow's episode of The Young and the Restless. Grab you some snacks. I know it'll be probably mid-morning to mid-afternoon for some of you guys. So if you got a lunch break, you got a snack break, you're going to need it for that episode because it is definitely snack worthy.
Yes, it is. That is an A+ episode.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's talk about the boring and the beautiful.
What happened this week? I'm really...
Well, what happened is that they wrapped this whole week around Taylor. And this storyline, it sucks.
I felt like the episodes were running together. I was looking at today's episode, and I was like, did I watch this yesterday?
Yeah, because they're talking about the same thing. Monday and Tuesday was about Taylor. Today we got a little bit of Hope, and we got Hope and Steffy, and but Monday and Tuesday was about Taylor. Whether it was Taylor and Lee, whether it was Brooke talking about Taylor, it was Steffy and Ridge talking about Taylor, and yeah.
Fun.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Belinda.
This was just so like.
Allison called it the bland and the boring.
It really was. Like, I can't even think of any highlight because Monday was just, they left off with Friday's episode, and then Tuesday was basically copy and paste, only they added Finn in there.
Right.
And then Wednesday, we got some of the Logans, and that was, it was the same storyline still. Like, are you going to get over Finn? And then Ridge was asking, like, what are you guys talking about? What's going on? And like, oh, nothing. Are you sure? Yeah, nothing. Like, that was basically today's episode. And then Katie was, she on my nerves now. But that's pretty much all that happened for Bold. There was nothing. And Wednesday's supposed to be the good episode.
Well, I think it's toward the end of the week when we have that Brooke bedroom line with that Icelandic artist and Finn and Hope are bonding over his music. That's probably going to be the only excitement we get toward the end of the week, because there was a spoiler talking about how Hope and Steffy was going to be going at it about their parents and blah, blah, blah. If they're talking about today's episode, not really. Did you see a big argument between those two? I know they was throwing like, well, my dad is a waffler. Well, he chose my mom, and well, I'm not trying to play matchmaker. I'm like, okay, there was no back and forth. It was just a lot of shade.
They embellish these spoilers same way I like a couple of weeks back or maybe a month or so back where Steffy had lost her passport and Finn is going to be caught in a sticky situation, and all it was, they were talking about hope for the future in the office. And he was trying to play the peacemaker, and that was it. It wasn't anything explosive. Like nothing happened. Hope was even trying to be the good girl and trying to get the girl the passport. Like that, she felt that she got one over on Steffi by not telling her about the passport. That was it. They over embellished some of these storylines. That's why when I feel about this new man, I feel it's going to be this Icelandic singer. That's why I feel it's going to be a temporary thing for Hope. I can't see them bringing on we know a new person is not coming on. Mm-hmm. I'm really having a hard time thinking it's going to be Zende because we haven't seen any scenes with those two yet. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to utilize this Icelandic singer for this short period of time, and that's going to be her quote unquote new man or new crush. But it won't go anywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. It just has not been a good week when it comes to Bold, in my opinion. Number one, I don't like the Taylor storyline. I kind of talked about this, about her dropping that secret. And I know, like you said, Bree, the other day, some people kind of want to keep things to themselves. I just don't, and that's fine. She could do that. I just don't drop that in Lee's lap and then you tell her to shut up about it. That's heavy. You know what I mean?
I can see why you see it as heavy because Lee is also connected to that same family. But I think there's a certain respect level among doctors. So when someone says, keep this a secret, I don't want my family to know, a doctor would definitely understand that. So I can see why she told Lee in that regard. And every person's in charge of how they want to go about their life. If they don't want to worry their family, that's their decision. It's not something we're meant to understand because that person is going to go out on their own by themselves. And if they're able to get in control of the situation and say, this is how I want to go about things, I want to try to keep everything as normal as possible, like that has to be respected. And there's a lot of people just in this world who, like, I'll speak for myself. Like when it came to my mother, because she passed away from pancreatic cancer, I know she didn't want my brother and myself to know until she had reached, I believe, stage 3 or 4. I can't remember. But she was keeping everything as normal as possible. And it was hard because it was up until she was starting to get really sick where she had no choice but to let us know what was going on. But I was upset at first, didn't let her know that, but internally I was like upset because I was like, oh my God, I could have rearranged things and did things, but she wanted to keep everything as normal. And I fully understand that. And it's that person's choice, but it's their decision. And I understand where Taylor's coming from. I just don't like how they're writing it to where Steffi says, like, oh, I don't want to be without my mom. I'm a mama's girl. And I hope that she stays here forever. Like that, I was like, oh, goodness. Like, writers, why are you doing this?
Yeah, that part I didn't like either because Steffi was talking about that today, I think it was, where she was like, I'm glad you're going to be here and the kids are going to have so many upcoming things and memories and things at school and you're going to be here for all of that. And she's sitting up there, you looking your daughter in the face while she's saying, and people got their choices. I can't, like I say, I guess you can really relate with the situation with Steffi and Taylor, with the fact that Taylor didn't want to say anything, So I get that part because she technically don't have to, you know what I mean? But I just don't like this storyline. I mean, We have 4 or 5 on The Young and the Restless with mental health. We finally got past the whole thing with Eric last year. We got a break, only to go start right back over this fall with something similar.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Vicky. Yeah, and thank you guys. Like, that was she passed on in 2021, so it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, sorry to hear about
but
that.
It's that's why, like, I'll watch the storyline just to see how it unfolds, but like I kind of tune out a little bit on it, especially when it comes to like Steffy speaking, because there are certain things that she says that I know I've said myself, so I'm like, it kind of like a dagger, so I'm like, ugh. But I agree with you. How many mental health and like health scares, this is not General Hospital. This is supposed to be about fun, romance, and spice and excitement. That's why we watch.
And hostile corporate takeovers and stuff like that. That's why I'm really feeling the Billy and that whole storyline with Lily's about to fall on her face. And, you know, Billy and Phyllis are doing their thing. That got me interested. But all this doom and gloom, it's like, and I said that on my midday chats. I said, you know, a lot of people watch the soaps to get a break away from stuff that's going on in their everyday lives, their personal lives, and they say, hey, let's see what's on TV. Because like you said, Bree, where's the romance? I mean, we saw the mechanical romance between Finn and Steffy, which I've seen them do way better than what they did, what we saw last week. And then other than that, we really haven't had anything. And even on Y&R, we really hadn't had anything. Last thing, it was the whole situation with Chelsea and Adam in Baltimore. What happened to all that stuff?
I don't know. Everything completely changed in 2024. I don't know if there's new rules behind the scenes or something, but it has affected both shows. And it's like they had to reroute their storylines to either something medical or something that has to do with corporate. Nothing romantic anymore.
And like Jan in the chat said, we need escape from our real world troubles, not illness and suffering.
Yeah. It's just not fun to watch, but I'll watch it. And I'll do the recaps and everything. It's just, when it comes to that particular storyline, it kind of hits me a little bit different.
Yeah, look, Javon Atkinson, she said, sorry for your loss, Bree. She lost her mom in 2011. Feels like yesterday.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for your loss too. It's not a fun thing when you see like your parent, go through that, and when they try to keep it to themselves, that's like it's internal hell, so to speak, for themselves. And they're trying to get the strength up. Like I see what Taylor's doing. She's trying to get the strength up to still be the mom, still be the parent. And because no one wants their kid to worry about them. That I do understand. But I guess there's a certain mental peace of mind, and how my mom explained it to me. There's just, when you try to keep things as normal as possible, it takes some anxiety away. It gets you to focus on the present too. So I do completely understand that. And anyone who's had a loss in a parent, like I do feel what you guys are going through. But it's the whirlwind that Steffi's going to feel if they do decide to get rid of the Taylor character. The whirlwind that she's going to face.
I want to mention something about that, but it looked like a lot of people in the chat have lost moms. I'm so sorry for all of your losses, and this is why these type of storylines, I get, unless they're trying to bring awareness to the condition itself, I don't know, but at some point, give us what happened to the fashion show. We did have one last year, right before Eric went into the hospital and had a coma, and all that. There was that fashion challenge and blah, blah, blah. But it shouldn't be wrapped around a health storyline. We want something clear, fresh, new. The only thing I know that's upcoming new is the fact that Elektra is coming to town and that she's probably going to be in a triangle between Will and RJ. Okay. I don't know how long Ivy's going to be here. I honestly think Ivy's probably just going to be here long enough to bring Elektra with her. But, I mean, that's just my opinion. But I don't know what else. And this whole new man crap, I just think is a bunch of hoopla based on the writers and the spoilers and how they like to throw us off the track. But other than that, I don't know how long we're going to be embroiled in this Taylor storyline. And if they only brought her back just to get rid of the character, and we talked about this last week, yeah, I'm not happy about that. Now, I've been hearing some other rumors, too, that some other characters might be unalived and she get a transplant.
And it makes me wonder.
And they better not do what I think that I heard. I hope they don't do that. Please don't.
What did you hear?
Well, and these are rumors, because I've seen it on Facebook and I've seen it on other places. That could they possibly unalive Thomas in order to give her the transplant?
They better not. I would lose my mind. I think Keish had a very interesting point in the group chat where she said the reason, like, especially when we saw the what's his name, Tom Arnold character pop on the show, like, so random. I think she said that it might be maybe something that happened to him. And it's how she gets to her, because he's technically a throwaway character. And plus, that scene was so random.
Yeah, because he just showed up and I can see that. That could be possible. I mean, because, what's his name? Tom Arnold. He's not a regular character. He was just a guest star. And so he come in out of the blue saying, hey, I'm here for a checkup. Is everything all good? And that whole crazy scene, could it be possible something does happen and that's how they save Taylor? But still, why even go through this? For what? What's the end game?
And I think
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I think there's a reason why they showed him. Like, it didn't make any sense to, like, the audience. I'm like, it wasn't even funny. But I think Keish made a valid point that something's going to happen and he might end up being a donor. Otherwise, it would never have shown him. It would have just been like a one-off at the airport where Steffy lost her passport.
Right. And that's what, like Sandra said, she thought thought the pilot having a lab test was strange. It was random.
I thought so too. I'm like, what did you catch, sir? Did you go to what's the name's parties and catch something?
Girl, you silly. Who's that? Delmonica. I don't think Tom and Hollis could be a donor because the harvesting, they've been gone like 3 months now. The harvesting would have had to been taking place 3 months ago.
And on top of that, the way that they lost their lives was from an overdose,
too. So it's poison in the body or something.
Yeah. So I can't see that happening. Now, I had another thought. Because what if maybe Elektra might end up being the donor? Because we don't know how long this girl's going to be on the show.
Yeah, the guy, Crew Morrow was talking about, this whole thing, and it looked like that's the direction where they're going with Elektra. So.
And it'll be a young 20-something-year-old heart. So I don't know.
No, not going in the direction of the triangle, not the transplant.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. That was, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm so over the storyline. It's just not.
But look at it like this, Bree. Just say she does get a transplant, and now she's vibrant and healthy again. Are we going back into a Ridgebrook triangle, or is she just going to go back to Europe?
No, they better not send this girl to Europe. Taylor needs to be around all of her children and her grandchildren. If Brooke can do this, then I don't see why Taylor can't do this. I would, writers, producers, this is what, if you can please listen to the fans and listen, to the podcast, we give some helpful information. There's other storylines that we could really be invested in, like what happened to Thorne? What's going on with Felicia? Why hasn't Zende seen his mother in years since he's been over in LA? Mm-hmm. Where is Rick? We get Bridget. Bridget's coming back soon. But what happened to Rick? What happened to his divorce? What happened to Zende and Nicole's divorce? Like, there's different questions that we have just as a viewer. And it's like it's put off to the side. Eric has a whole adopted son that he doesn't even mention or speak about. We have no idea what happened to Marcus or Daisy. Mm-hmm. And there's just, it's like everything is centered around the Logans. It really is. Like, they can't even deny it. To the point where Eric's GCAC is the Logan Hub station. Mm-hmm. That's where all of them meet up. Even Hope feels like she can, come and go as she please there. And I'm like, that's Steffy Granddaddy house. Mm-hmm. Everything is centered around the Logans, to the point where Steffy is literally like all by herself. But you can say that Ridge is there for her, but to some degree. To some degree, until it affects him and his business, then he has something to say.
Right.
Or if there's like cheating involved, then he has something to say. Mm-hmm. But like, there's everything is centered around these Logans for whatever reason. But the whole thing is centered around the Forresters, and there's only really 1, 2, or 3 Forresters on this show. Mm-hmm. But all these Logans.
Yep. Sandra said even Eric is Loganized.
He had no choice.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, everything pretty much centered around Taylor this week. I mean, there's the conversation with Finn and his mom, because and Lee was like, I got a secret that I can't tell nobody. Look like he's wondering what's going on. And then Brooke is like telling Eric and Donna, she says she's not back here for Ridge, that she wants us to be friends. That's all this was talking about Monday and Tuesday. We only got that little conversation between Hope and Steffy and Hope and her mom about Finn or about their parents in today's episode. So,
and that's really it.
There's
it. There's nothing special, nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's just nothing. I mean, they got Liam doing nothing, and they were utilizing Scott Clifton for well over 10 years. Every other episode, it was always about Liam. And when Matt Atkinson came onto the scene, the whole show was centered around Thomas. And now that he's gone, it's like, there's no leading storyline, in all honesty. Mm-hmm. So I can't even think of because we were talking a little bit about the Emmy category since the seasons had wrapped and the new season has started for both shows. I can't even think of a lead category for the males or the females, really. For bold.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they don't get a lot of nominations this coming year, unless they give it to, depending on how this Taylor story ends or changes or shifts, unless they give her, I don't know, a guest actress or something. I don't. Who can you give her? The whole story, the whole year is stupid. Unless they give Lisa Yamada. Unless they give her something because of the sinister behavior in the last part of that murder mystery. That's the only thing I can think of that could be Emmy worthy. The Sugar Sheila thing, no. Hope crying about Thomas leaving. Okay, I mean, sorry, Annika. They should have gave you one last year. She was nominated. She just got beat out by Courtney Hope.
Yeah, exactly. I really can't think of any. I can't think of anything now. Lisa Yamada definitely deserves to be nominated. If they had kept that younger actor category, she would win it hands down. I mean, if she submits it for supporting, I mean, more power to her.
Yeah, she could probably get it for guest appearance, right?
No, she's been longer there for a guest appearance. Like the guy who played Tom, he's going to get a nomination for his guest appearance, without a question.
Yeah, Clint Howard.
Clint Howard. He's going to get a nomination without a doubt. But I can't see this girl getting nominated for supporting, in all honesty, because there's a lot of just heavyweight competition for supporting on 3 different shows.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, Gail. That was Michelle Stafford that beat Annika out, not Courtney.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that was lead category. So for Lisa to get nominated for support, even supporting, that's going to be very slim to none. Even though she had a really great few weeks as far as when they turned the story around, and great acting. Like if they had the younger actor category, whereas people under the age of 25, she would win it hands down. Without question. But since they removed that category, well, they can still add it. We never know. But since they removed it, as far as we know, there's just no way I can see her winning for supporting.
Right. So
it's too. There's just way too many juicy storylines. Yes, especially on Y&R.
Yeah, Eileen Davidson and the way Sharon case is looking tomorrow, them two probably gonna be in the same category.
Well, Eileen is going to win it for next year, but the new season of Y&R started on the 24th. So the stuff that Sharon did for tomorrow's episode, she'll get nominated to win for 2026.
Well, the new season starts on October the 2nd, next week. What is Monday's date? The 30th. So, B&B.
I thought it started.
B&B started. No, B&B started in September. At Y&R season 38 starts in the next week or two.
Oh, okay. Well, then scratch what I said. Then, it's going to be that competition for lead is going to be vicious because Eileen definitely deserves her Emmy. Sharon deserves her Emmy. Even Melody deserves her Emmy nomination. I mean,
that's that category gonna be heavy.
Exactly. To where I can't see anybody from Bold getting a nomination in the lead category for male or female. I can't see it. Unless you guys see something different, please, we can just definitely discuss
think about this year. I can't think of anybody that could get a lead on Bold unless they give it to Steffy for the way she handled Sugar in March. I don't know. They give it to Jacqueline.
That would be my guess, is they will give that to Jacqueline for lead. I can see that. I can't see her winning over Eileen.
No, Eileen, and it's going to be a toss-up between Eileen and Melody, in my opinion. As much as I think Sharon did well tomorrow, Melody crashed out when she was in that room with Peter Bergman.
Yes.
And Eileen, with that DID, she rocked out. Now, I don't know what's going on Days and GH, because there's going to be some of those folks in that category too.
Exactly. A lot of heavy hitters, and also the supporting category. So some people might not try to go after the lead, but they'll definitely go after supporting. That's why it's going to be tough competition for Lisa Yamada to even get nominated. if they had the younger actor category, she would get in there hands down and win that.
Who would be in supporting for Young and the Restless? Because Eileen and all them would be in the lead. Who would be for supporting?
Courtney Hope.
For what?
And her break, the way she was coming at Adam after she found out she was cheating, that he was cheating, and I think Melissa Claire Egan is also going to get nominated. I think Allison Lanier might also get nominated. But who I want to get nominated is Susan Walters.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I guess it's a toss-up for me in that supporting category. Nothing stands out like it does for the lead actress. I can't even figure out who the lead actor or supporting actor would be. Who would you give that to? For Bold or YNR? For the men?
Oh, for Bold, sorry, for YNR lead, I'm going to give that to Peter Bergman for that same scene he did with Melody.
Oh, yeah, that I could see that. And supporting would also, I got to give it to the Ashby guy, Diane's husband. What's his first name? Lyndon Ashby. That man is hilarious.
Would he be nominated for guest?
Probably.
I can see that for guest, absolutely. And he actually might beat out Ron Howard's brother for that.
Clint. But I don't know who would be lead. Who would get a nomination for lead except for Peter Bergman? That's probably it.
Maybe Mark
Grossman?
For what he's been going through and how he was breaking down and crying about his son and his OCD and how he was blaming himself and the fact that he found out when his son was like self-harming, that emotion, that I can definitely see him getting nominated for. Would he win? I don't know.
No.
But Peter for sure.
Oh yeah, we forgot about Colleen Zink.
Yep.
And then Sandra said for Bold, she got Tanner. Tanner Novlin. I'm trying to think. I mean, for what scenes per se that really stand out with Tanner when he was getting the blood up off the floor and trying to shed a tear.
Emphasis on try. I can't see. It's really hard to wrap my head around supporting or lead for Bold. Yeah. But there's some people who I can throw in that supporting character, for supporting actor category, like Kyle. I think Michael Mueller. The level of emotion and the fact that he was kind of going in and out of like rage and like the way that he was coming after his mother. Like I think that could get him a supporting nomination for sure. I'm trying to think of who else.
They were saying in the chat they think Tanner because they can't see anybody else. I mean, there's not really a lot of men on Bold except Scott Clifton wasn't as active this year.
Yeah, I can't see that.
It's only Ridge and Finn, and we barely saw Eric. The only other people that we saw a lot of was RJ. And I don't know if we'll get an award or not, or a nomination. So, I don't know.
I would be surprised if they gave it to Thorsten again.
Yeah, but for what?
Exactly.
I mean, sorry, Thorsten. It's not you. It's the material that they gave you this year, so. Because I think that he won it last year because of how he did with the Eric storyline or whatever.
I agree.
So, anywho. We'll see what that looks like. I think, did we cover everything on Bold? Because it was a run-on sentence for 2 days. And then the today's episode was pretty much as is. So, with Hope and still fiending after Finn and all that old nonsensical stuff.
Yeah, it really wasn't, I mean, it was to the point where we're talking about daytime Emmys, and it's not until next year.
Exactly. Exactly.
We there was nothing really much to discuss. Oh, Tucker McCall. What's the name of that actor? Trevor St. John. He would get nominated for supporting.
Yeah, he did good earlier this year.
And someone said Sean Keenan for his role as Deacon could get supporting. I would actually be okay with that. Yeah. That would be support like worthy for what he's been doing. I'd be perfectly fine with Sean Keenan winning.
I agree. Yeah, Trevor St. John was, oh man, they need to bring him back. But I know he got other projects of his own. So
how long has he been gone? Like a couple of months?
Girl, he's been gone since spring. Ashley went in. That storyline with the DID ended somewhere around April or May. So
they could still bring him.
But I'm saying they need to bring the actor back, but he's busy with his own projects. I don't know if he's going to come back anytime soon because he's pushing his plays, his new movies, and all that stuff. So I don't blame him. Do your thing.
Yeah. The one said KKL. KKL is Susan Lucci. Well, technically, KKL has an Emmy just for writing, though.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to end it right there. It was a pretty interesting week on Young and the Restless, especially tomorrow. I know we can't overemphasize it, but I will because you will enjoy it. And that whole entire episode, we really didn't have any outside scenes except everything that happened from start to finish from the time that we left today's episode when Sharon ran into Heather at that door.
Yeah, tomorrow's episode, it's you do not want to miss tomorrow's episode of Y&R. It's definitely A+ in comparison to some of the episodes, and it's definitely something to definitely talk about. Without question, you guys are going to have a lot to say, a lot of different thoughts, and all I got to say is, how is she going to get out of this?
Yeah, and just pay attention to the scene transition, the background music. They really, whoever did the dramatic background scenes and put it all together, it doesn't even look like it's part of the show. You know it's Heather and Sharon in it, but it just seems like somebody came in and decided to say, they paid somebody to come in here and say, I need y'all to make this great. I need y'all to make this look like a suspense movie. It doesn't look like it's any scenes that you've ever seen from a soap opera.
Yeah, this right here, this is some Law and Order stuff. like it really is, and it's like Law and Order meets Lifetime.
An ID channel.
You guys, it's worth it without question. I was personally shocked and angry, and like I said early in the beginning, like it took me for a loop because I'm like, she really is a nut job.
I can't believe she did what she did. And
she's a calculated person.
And they showed, not everything, but toward the end, how could you just do that? And then watch it just, so. All right, you guys, we're going to end it there. We'll definitely have a lot to talk about on Y&R tomorrow. Hopefully Bold isn't that boring. If Bold is slow like it has been, I'm probably going to start with Bold just to get it out the way. Because I know y'all going to have a lot to talk about with tomorrow's episode of Y&R, so.
Yeah, I wish I could probably join in at mid-chat, but I got to check to see how the weather's going to turn out over here.
Yeah, just let me know. I would love to have you up there because I know you'd be like, oh my God, we'll really cut it up tomorrow. So
Yeah, I'm going to see how the weather's going to turn out and go from there, guys. If you guys are in Florida, please stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe, you guys. If you're on that southern East Coast in Florida or whatever, and make sure you guys are good. All right, stay tuned, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you're notified every time a video is posted. And until the next one, I am T from Soap Corner Talk, and I also had who on the line?
Miss Bree, the one and only.
All right, we will see you guys later. Stay on the phone, Bree. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye, guys.